Right, so game five. So going into this game five, I was 4-0. There was probably, I think, three or four other Warriors players that were also on 4 wins. So to win best Warriors player, I needed to win this game and hope that all of the guys that were on 4 wins either didn't win or I got more sportsman points than they did. Which I feel like I've been a decent enough player and opponent throughout the tournament. I'm never a douchebag or anything like that. I consider myself a pretty laid back opponent. So I was feeling fairly confident going into this game four. And then what happened is I got drew against the same opponent that I played in round two. So we asked the TOs if it'd be okay if we just swapped with some guys on the tables around us. They said sure. So I swapped and played one of the guys on the table. The table next to us. It was quite funny that we asked one of the guys on the table like to the right of us. The guys took one look at both our lists, me running the Demon Prince and the Skull Crushers, and my opponent running Double Hell Cannon, and they both kind of just went, well, fuck that. So neither of those guys wanted to swap, but luckily one of the guys under the table said that yeah, he didn't mind swapping. He understood that we had got Drew in the same matchup again. Um, so yeah, this is magic I rolled for round five. So the Doom Prince got Spirit Leech, the Crest of Lanith, Soul Blight, and Purple Sun. Uh, I mean, again, Purple Sun's not really going to do much. I think I rolled up Aspect of the Dread Knight, which is what I swapped Spirit Leech because Aspect of the Dread Knight is just garbage. Um, and you'll see in a minute that the Purple Sun is just not going to do anything against Warriors because they're all high initiative. And the level 1 Metal Wizard just went for Searing Doom. Now, a little heads up for this game. I don't know whether it was overconfidence because I'm 4-0 at this point and a win almost gets me best Warriors player. Taking into account some other results. So I don't know whether it's overconfidence or laziness or tiredness because this is like the end of day two. But I just make mistake after mistake after mistake in this game. I play so sloppy. Um, at the time, I remember thinking that my luck was just horrible in this game, and at some points you will see that my luck is just it's just absolutely ridiculous. Some of my luck in this game, but I made my own bed. But we'll get to that when it comes up. So we just played Battle Line for this game. This is my deployment. So I had the ingenious idea of thinking, well, I'm playing Warriors. He's got no shooting. I'm just going to run my level 1 wizard out on his own. I'm going to 6-dice Searing Doom, and then I'd take um, no punishment if I miss cash. It's not going to blow up my unit or anything. Obviously, this is just stupid because he's running a wizard and he'll just snipe me out. He was running metal, so I'm just going to take a Searing Doom and die. So it was just, at the time I thought it was like an ingenious little idea, and then it was just so there's mistake number one. I should probably have a little tally going on here, but yeah, that's mistake number one. So I've got the two Nurgle Gobies, the Nurgle Warriors behind them. This is more the centre of the board. So the Demon Prince is like slap bang in the middle of the table. 3 units of dogs there. BSB behind, Skull Crusher behind. You guys know my list by now. And this is what I was up against. This is pretty much his entire army. So he had 55 Nurgle Warriors with halberds and a huge block. BSB in there with a 1-up rerollable. And Festus. And then he had a Sorcerer Lord on a disc with a Mark of Tzeentch. So he's basically got the 1-up save, the 3-up ward save where he rerolls ones. And he's got the Crown of Command. And he's running Lord of Metal. He had the Curse Familiar, so he's technically a level 5. I forgot to put the Curse Familiar on there. But yeah, that's pretty much his entire army. Now, see, the thing is, I looked at this list and thought, if I can kill that Lord, I can avoid that block all day. I'll just, turn 1, kill the Sorcerer Lord. I'll slap him with some Death Magic. I'll hit him with a big Searing Doom. Should kill him. Even with his ridiculous save, I should be able to at least get some wounds on him. And then I'll kill him, and I'll just spend the entire game running away, and then that's the win. So that was my plan for this game. Over on this side, he just had a couple of units of Warhounds. pretty much inconsequential photo. So my turn 1, his mistake number 2. So completely forgetting that his Sorcerer Lord has fly, I fang my entire army right down his throat, meaning he can just fly right over me and behind me. I don't even know why I did this. Ever since I finished this game, I just thought, why didn't I just form a bubble around him, a 20-inch bubble, so he couldn't move anywhere, and I just keep sniping him with the spells. As you see, the unit of hounds on the upper right have moved up, and I fell an inch short to stop that unit getting into the building. Yeah, they can just easily wheel around and get to the building. I was an inch too short to block them off. Unit dogs in the centre just vanguarded up to block off his dogs. And this unit of dogs over here moves into the wall. I failed 2 danger strain tests, and then I failed my 9 rerollable. Even though it doesn't look like it, I was in General's leadership at the time of the test being taken. So, yep, that's how, I can't make a 9 rerollable. And this is just the dogs over here blocking off this, trying to block off this unit. In the magic phase, I go ahead and I throw a Soul Blight off on this unit. He lets it go because he's trying to stop Searing Doom. But then I 6-dice Searing Doom at his wizard. On the big version, I get 12 hits. I roll double 6, do 11 wounds, and he saves them all. Yep. Even with a 3-up reroll in ones, I should have at least got a couple through. Nope, he saves them all. And he bounces a Spirit Leech as well. I got a good magic phase for my first turn. So, I can't even kill him with 12 hits from Searing Doom. In my opponent's turn then, so he does as I predicted, he just moved into the building. So what would have been a better plan is what I should have done is put my Demon Prince right opposite this block and just Death Sniped his BSB Infestus out of here, block him from getting into the building and deal with his wizard later on. I don't know why I didn't do this. This seems like such the smarter idea to block this unit from getting into the building, but hey, there you go. And of course, his characters in this block are so much easier to Death Snipe than his Lord on a disc. So they're in the building. And so, yep, he flies around me like this, just as I predicted, because I'm an absolute idiot and I rush forward as fast as I can. It looks like he's taken a wound. I don't know whether that's from a miscast or something, because I know I didn't do any wounds to him the entire game really. But he goes ahead and he Searing Dooms my level 1 wizard who's on his own and kills him. And that takes my scroll. And then he final trans my Demon Prince, but luckily he doesn't roll a 6, so my mistake is coming back to haunt me already. Yep, so that's just a shot of the level 1 wizard getting Searing Doomed off the board. So, into my turn 2, I go ahead and probably make my second mistake of the game, where I just completely reform everything on this side. The dogs rally, luckily. Demon Prince turns around, he's going to try and Death Snipe the wizard again. And now, again, what I should be doing is just flying up and trying to Death Snipe his characters in the building. I don't know why I didn't. If I can kill that BSB, get a Doom and Darkness off, I don't know if I had Doom and Darkness this game, probably not. But I can, potentially Terror Charge him off the board. This is what I should have been doing the whole time, but I was too insistent on trying to kill this Sorcerer Lord, and that was my main mistake this entire game. So Demon Prince turns around, BSBs, I have no idea what the BSB is doing. Skull Crushers reform, and so basically I'm trying to give him nowhere safe to land. So I've moved the Gobby's Chariots around, I've completely reformed the Nurgle Warriors, which I don't know why I've done that. I'm giving this Sorcerer Lord far too much credence. In the magic phase, I don't get anything done because I fluff my first casting, which is always awesome when that happens. My opponent's turn 2, he comes out the building. This was another mistake because we didn't clarify what constitutes the building or not. So I didn't expect the Warriors to be this close. I initially wasn't expecting the courtyard to be considered part of the building. But we didn't clear it up at the start of the game, so I couldn't, within right, sort of question it now. So he jumps out of the building here, so he's a lot closer than I thought he was going to be. And that's just a massive shitstorm. I do not want to fight that at all. And of course, he just moves to here, because You know, he's got fly. He can go pretty much wherever he wants with his sorcerer lord. And of course, he final transmutations on the Demon Prince. He doesn't irresistible force it. I throw all my dice at it, and I don't dispel it. I think he casts it on like 5 dice. He barely meets the casting value, and I dispel it with all 6 of my dice, and yeah, don't get it. And then he rolls a 6, and then Demon Prince dies. Nothing more to say about that. So in my turn 3, I go ahead and I just fang the Golbeast Chariot into this block. I'm pretty sure it's gonna die, but on the faint hope that I can do enough impact hits and wounds just to win combat or only lose by a few, and then I stick, and then in my turn I've lined up all these counter charges. I've got a Golbeast going into the flank with some warriors. Skull Crushers will slam into the front, and a BSB into the flank. And with all that, I'm hoping that I should be able to break this unit. Basically, I'm going to get my BSB into a challenge with his BSB. Hopefully, kill him. I've got more attacks, more survivable than he is. Hopefully, I should be able to kill him. And with all the other wounds coming in, it should go my way. But that's just such a big unit. It's going to be difficult. So in my combat phase, the Golbeast takes 4 wounds. I think I do like 3 wounds. So I've got to charge 3 wounds. He's got like 4 wounds, billion ranks, a banner, BSB. But whatever I was testing on, I stuck. I think I was like a 3 or a 4 or something stupid when all said and done. But I managed to get it with the reroll, which is awesome. My opponent's turn 3, he just moves up his wizard to here, just to block off the counter charge from my warriors into the flank of his warriors. Pretty smart idea, because if I get my warriors in there, I'm going to disrupt him and he doesn't get his rank bonus. Just mean I'm going to win by a huge margin, more than I would do. His magic phase, I don't think he gets anything off. I think he goes for a big Searing Doom and misses it on his first attempt. So ends his magic phase, I think. Yeah, I mean, after my Demon Prince game popped by that Searing Doom, I was kind of in a bad mood, and I was realising at this point how poorly I've been playing so far. So I've not got many photos of this game. Over here, dogs just move up, just threatening my dogs, I think. We've got 2 units of dogs there. You'll see it in the top right, where they've been scrapping like pretty much since turn 1, but neither has managed to sort of die yet. So, going into my turn 4, in his turn 3, the Golbeast Chariot was killed, which was, warranted. I was surprised it died so easily, because he didn't have that many attacks on it. And a Mark of Nurgle, toughness 6, but he just shredded through the Golbeast a lot quicker than he probably should have done. But I go ahead and I charge the Skull Crushers into the front of this unit. The BSB goes into the flank. The warriors go into the Sorcerer Lord, hopefully planning to break him. It looks like he's taking a wound from somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where that wound's come from. I think actually he miscast getting off some spell somewhere. I honestly don't know. But if you look in the trees, the Golbeast Chariot was going to roll to go into the flank, rolled a 1, took 6 wounds, and died. Is anything going to go right for me in this game? Oh, it's just terrible. Absolutely terrible. In the combat phase, I think we put a wound on the Sorcerer Lord, but he's got the Crown of Command, so he sticks. And in this combat phase, yeah, I do 0 wounds. 0 wounds. BSB goes into the flank. We have a tickle fight with his BSB. Get into a challenge. Skull Crushers go into the front and do jack squat. I mean, that's a whole bunch of attacks. Strength 5, Strength 6, plus stomps. I do nothing to him. He kills like my entire Skull Crusher unit. I have 1 guy left on like 2 wounds because the BSB breaks when they run away. My BSB, he breaks and dies. And then at this point, I just call the game. I'm so frustrated. I'm, I probably shouldn't have given up, but there was no point playing it out. I had nothing left to get points out of this unit. My BSB was dead. My Demon Prince was dead. I had one Skull Crusher left on like one wound. My Noble Warriors were stuck in combat with his Sorcerer Lord. They were never going to break him, and his big block was just going to reform and charge me and kill my unit. I was going to lose horribly, and this was the game. This was the last picture I took because I was just really frustrated, and I do have to apologise to my opponent because I would have clearly have been really really pissed off at this point, and I do apologise for that. But this is where the game ended. An absolute crushing loss. Combination of just terrible mistakes in the early game by me and some just horrible, horrible luck. And, um, uh, yeah. So that's that. Alright, guys. So, do some post game thoughts. I mean, what a bad end to a great tournament. My previous 4 games have been, against great guys, great games. Possibly, some completely sort of out of whack matchups that shouldn't have been and wouldn't have been if this had been a sort of, I say, proper tournament in air quotes. Um, but yeah, I had a great tournament up until that point, and this game just really demoralised me because I just really didn't expect to lose it. I looked across the table at the start of the game, and I thought, if we play out this matchup 99, 100 times, 99 times out of that 100 games, I would win. I would kill the Sorcerer Lord, and then I would avoid that massive block all game long. 99 times 100, that is what will happen. And looking back, obviously hindsight's 2020, but looking back now, what I should have done is just gone for his big block, just death sniped his BSB, death sniped Festus. They're not too hard to kill. Yeah, his BSB had no ward save. He just had the regen from Festus, and Festus just has the regen. So, getting off a big Caress of Lanif or a Spirit Leech on those guys should really have killed them, and that's what I should have been doing, rather than going after his Sorcerer Lord. But again, hindsight's 2020, and I mean, by right, it's taken 11 hits 11 wounds from Searing Doom. Should kill his Sorcerer Lord. It should do. I mean, if you go and pick up 11 dice now and try and make that many 3-ups, re-rolling ones, you're probably going to fail 3 out of the 11. But he rolled. I think he rolled like 9 3+s and then 2 1s, and then re-rolled the 2 1s and passed them both. And it was just from that point, it was just like demoralising because it just seemed that none of the dice went my way. But that wasn't why I lost. I lost because I made some poor mistakes. And this game highlights exactly why I've got an issue with Warriors. I mean, the army is so razor's edge, and then until the Demon Prince died, I would have won that game. It was my game, because at that turn, when he died, I was thinking just as he started his turn, like, right, I'm not going to kill his Sorcerer Lord. I'm just going to go for his big block. I'm going to get my Demon Prince into combat with his big block. I'm safe from his metal spells, and I'm just going to grind that unit. They'll never kill the Demon Prince. Even Warriors, they wouldn't kill my Demon Prince. Yeah. So, and at that point, that was my plan. And then he got the lucky 6 on the Found Transmutation and killed him, and my army just fell apart. And this is the problem with the Warriors, is it's so centric around the Demon Prince that it's just not fun to play, because every game comes down to, can my opponent kill the Demon Prince? If the answer's no, I'm going to win. If the answer's yes, then I'm probably going to lose. And I don't like that about the game. I like to approach the table before a game of fantasy and have an equal chance of winning and losing every game through tactical play, through decisions, through getting the right matchups. I don't want it just to be a matter of, well, I'm going to throw my Demon Prince at you and hope you can't kill it, basically. And yeah, that's my problem with the Warriors. So I'm probably going to shelf the Warriors for a while. I've got another army that I'm working on. I have like 2,000 and something points bought and built. I'm in the process of painting through it now. And it'll be a teaser. It's not my orcs. I've kind of shelved the orcs and goblins as well, but that's another video for another day. I do want to apologise to my opponent because I think throughout this game, after my first couple of turns, I would have been really, really grumpy, really frustrated, really cranky, and I wouldn't have been a good opponent to play against. So I have to apologise to my opponent for that. However, I don't feel like he beat me. I feel like I was beaten by the dice and my own mistakes. With all due respect to my opponent, I don't think he was the best of players at all. He had a very sort of single-minded list. It was very boring. It was very sort of placid. It was kind of like, well, I'm going to put all my points in this unkillable block and hope that my wizard, doesn't can pull the legwork up. And that's the thing. He was 6 dice in like every spell he cast and didn't miscast once, which really frustrated me. He was rolling like, for example, on turn 1 when he Searing Doomed my wizard, he rolled 6, 5, 5, 5, 4, 3. And that's just like an insane cast, like without double sixing. He casted something like 34 without a miscast. It was just, it frustrated me. This is how the game went. I just felt like I was beaten by the dice and my own mistakes rather than my opponent. And again, that's not what I like out of fantasy. I like to feel, I'm not a sore loser when I'm beaten fairly. When my opponent outplays me, I'll take my hat off to them and salute them for good play. But when I'm diced or when I just make stupid mistakes, it's always hard to kind of accept the loss, so to speak. So yeah, that was about the game. In summary, I don't really want to do a separate video because I've not got that much to say really. But in summary, I won no awards. I didn't even get one for my armor list, which is really disappointing. However, the one that won it was fantastic. I have to, raise my hat to Dan Quirk that won. He won Best Warriors. He won about 7 awards basically. So, I mean, the consolation is that even if I had won this game, I wouldn't have won Best Warriors because Dan Quirk won 5 games and Best Army List, and that's what it goes off. If everything else is equal, they go down to 200 in the Best Army List, and he's won it. So, even if I'd won this game, I wouldn't have won Best Warriors. So it's kind of some consolation there. But yeah, I didn't win any awards. In my intro video, I said there was a group of us going down and we were all trying to win Best in Race. Only one of us won it. My buddy Kieran, he won Best Dark Elf Player. He won all 5 games. He just smashed everybody. I don't know what matchups he got, but his Dark Elf list is really, really tough, and he just smashed everybody, which is awesome. He won all 5 games and won Best Dark Elf, and he was like, I think he was a few points away from winning Best Overall, which was really disappointing for him not to win the trophy, but hey, there you go. I know it's always a great tournament. It's really, really well run because it's GW's official tournament. There's no expense spared, so to speak. All the tables are all awesome. The terrain's all awesome, and it's kind of more laid back than most of your competitive tournaments. You can still go and be competitive. There's still some tough lists there, but in general, it's a lot more laid back as a tournament. So, what does the future hold? My gaming time is going to be drastically reduced from the end of the year onwards because I'm expecting a child with my girlfriend, so that's going to take up most of my time. However, next year, excuse me, I am looking at doing more of the sort of indie tournaments, again in air quotes. The official GW tournaments are good and really well run, but I don't like the tournament format. They don't use the 20-0 system. They don't use Swiss pairing systems, so every round is random. And if you look at the Orcs and Goblins guy that I played round 3, and then I played Ben's Wood Elves round 4, I shouldn't have been matched up against those guys. And in my game 5, I shouldn't have been matched up against that list because he'd only won like 2 games before that one. I'd won all 4. And this is my problem with the non-Swiss pairings rounds, is that you just end up against matchups that either unfair one way. And like I said, I lost this game, but in rights, if I'd have played it better, I should have won, and it would have been a fairly easy win if I don't make so many early mistakes. So the future is probably me going to less GW tournaments and more indie tournaments, which probably means a bump up in points to 2400. You see most of the battle reports on my channel are at 2000. You'll probably see an increase now to 2400, just as a way to sort of prepare for hitting the the more competitive tournament scene next year. My end goal would be getting high up on Rankings HQ is my eventual goal. I want to start, hitting the proper competitive tournaments, the GTs, and seeing how I get on there. But again, time permitting, so with a newborn on the way, time's going to be precious, to say the least. So I hope you've enjoyed the tournament report, guys. I finished 4-0, well, 4-1, I should say. I'm really not enjoying playing the Warriors anymore, so I'm going to shelf them for a while. I know a few of you have been posting comments saying they want to see some crazy lists, and I'll probably pull them out and just run some wacky shit at some point. I might run like 100 Marauders in a unit, crap like that. But yeah, not enjoying the Warriors at all. Unfortunately, it's an army that gets very old very quick. So thanks for sticking with this video. This last slide has been probably longer than it should have been, but I did sort of my tournament summary in this as well. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It always, when I get an email saying that someone subscribed, it always puts a little smile on my face that someone out there is enjoying what I do. So thank you for that, and I'll keep doing what I'm doing. You keep doing what you're doing. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, at System War Games. If you're on Twitter, just search my handle. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and more battle reports to come. Alright, peace out.